Hello guys, and welcome back to Dwellers in the Dark. I know I've been absent for a while, had a bit of a run up to Nova, went to Nova, came back, had a lot of things going on. Not going to bore you with any of that. Haven't had a shave yet. Next video, I'll have a shave. So this video basically is my arrival in America. I get a bit excited and everything. Meet up with Devon, meet up with Jake, and then get stuck into doing scenery. It was amazing. Really enjoyed myself. Had a fantastic time. The venue was just amazing. More importantly, the hospitality. All the Americans were just brilliant. Wonderful people to meet. Wonderful gamers. Had great chats. Had a fantastic time with them. Met the Canadians. Awesome. Evan, shout out. Yeah. Don. Adam. Forgotten people's names. I'm terrible. I'm getting old. But yeah, all the Canadians, looking forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks' time. What can I say? It was brilliant. Got to meet Jericho. Got to meet a lot more people. And good old Tim Hickson. Yay! Great to see you, buddy. Really good laughs. We went out sightseeing with Tim. I won't tell you too much about that. The weather was hot. Coming into winter, I'm wearing short sleeves, still in sandals. That's how I roll. That's fine. But it was too hot over there. Way, way too hot for the likes of me. Anyway, so basically we're going to crack into the video. I'll give you a quick rundown, get to Devon's, have a great time there, start on some scenery. Then we quickly move on to Nova itself, looking at the tables. And that's the primary aspect of this video, and I do hope you like it. Trust me, the scenery there, in my opinion, was fantastic. Just from what I've seen of last year's videos, it's improving, and it's going to continue improving. So a big shout out to Devon for all the time and effort and money he's put into making the Lord of the Rings Hobbit Nova event awesome. Okay, so we'll crack on into the video, and I hope you guys like it. Please excuse my excitement. But hey, first time to America. Okay, speak to you soon, guys. Hope you enjoy. Bye for now. Hello, guys, and here we start on the tables. Number 26. This table has at least 2 mummoks devoted as pieces of scenery. Wow, and they look good. This was one of the bottom tables on a couple of the events. I think it changed each round, but it never really became a competitive table. Had a chance to play with my camels for a bit of a ringer game on this, and that was kind of cool. Now we move on to the Mordor board with lava. Now there's a lot of little crossings here in bits and pieces. Some of the rules, you could jump gaps. Again, it wasn't really a board that was used strongly for the competition. It was, in fact, 1 or 2 occasions, I believe, it wasn't even used on some of the rounds. But a lovely board. It really stands out. Some nice little scatter train pieces here. Now, this was Osgiliath. Not using any of the Osgiliath runes as such, but definitely a very, very nice piece. A lot of effort and a lot of work gone in. I do think we've been very good with a river on that. But hey-ho. And now we're onto the Moria board. Sorry, not the Moria board, the Goblin Town board. Oh, what am I saying? 95% of coverage on this board, fantastic. It means that any and every army can play quite well on it without too much hindrance. A couple of black chasm drops there, some nice high-flying walkways here. So really kind of definite 3-dimension gaming going on. Really, really nice board. Now this is Isengard. Isengard with its workings, its pulley systems, etc. Really, I think could have done with a bit of a nicer base beneath it, a bit more work to it. But Devon was quite happy with this board. I especially was happy with the individual pieces. They were really, really nice. But again, it just wasn't one of the boards that popped. But look at the level of detail on this stuff. Really, really nice. And this will show you how the other tables are going to be. And here we are, barrels out of Bond. Again, a beautiful, beautiful board. Some really interesting games played on this. Chaos of Arda was played on this, and it was using the GT as well. You might just notice the see-through perspex. Yeah, excuse me. They were used as crossings. There's actually 5 crossings in that whole board, which made it really playable. Again, beautiful board. Now, Erebor. This was a bit of a thorn in Devon's side. It's a beautiful board, but unless you make all the gold mounds as hills rather than difficult terrain, a lot of models are going to struggle. A lot of armies are going to struggle on it. So that's exactly what Devon did. He turned around and said, look, all the mounds are hills. Use them as hills, and that way it became much more playable. Now, one of the first boards by John McConnell, should I say? My apologies, John. This is the Dead Marshes. Really nice board. A lot of effort and thought went into this. Lovely small pieces of scattered terrain. Nice little hills with grass. Really going to, work on the line of sight. Now, as you see, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. There's not a lot of boards filled up. In fact, some yet to do. But here we are into the Lake Town board. A beautiful board. Look at the detail there. Look at all the thought that's gone in. And there's more bits to be added. Devon, as I said, was he wasn't necessarily wrapped up in bed, I'd say, at home, but he was on his way with more bits and pieces. The guy was dedicated. Got there first thing every morning, made sure everything was ready to rock and roll. Really good. So this is the first morning now, and things are getting ready. Now this is the board that I've done already. You've seen it earlier in this video. This is the finished product. Again, I didn't make the board. Credit to the designer and the person who put it together. But I did highlight some of the snow and start pulling out some of the bits and pieces and adding some of the extra bits of terrain to help it pop. It was a really nice board to work on, and I look forward to doing projects like that. Hint, hint, hint. Right. So we go from this board now onto what was the Angmar board. We move on to the Angmar board. Dave, take the camera and swing it over to the Angmar board. And here we go. Now, a really interesting board. Played on it. Really nice to play on it. The scenery was great for playing with it. But just felt it didn't really... It could have been mistaken for a Harad board with different colours. But the idea was there. Still very playable. Now, this board I did like. Really nice board. Fantastic coverage. Loads of palm trees. Loads of huts. A little pool popping out. The cotton tablecloth, I think, beneath helped the colouring as it did in this board. I'd like to have seen some Urban Mats stuff. A shameless plug again for Urban Mats. We'll be fully aware of what that's all about. But the boards are playable. And they stand out. Some really nice bits and pieces to help them pop. And, there was no issues with terrain. There was no issues with understanding what each piece was. Now, this had been used in one of the narratives. This was the siege battle. Now, the actual innard of the town was used in all the competition games. The fact that Devon actually individually sat down to make up and put on those banners on each board just made it pop. Some blocking areas there, some funnels, etc. Lovely pieces of statuettes there. I'm rambling, and so we go on to the Troll Shaws. Again, another of John's project. Again, did a brilliant job. I was kept up to date with all his developments as he was making all of these pieces, from the ruined house in the background, which was amazing, to the colour of the trees, the cave, etc. Beautiful board. And now, these things, you wouldn't want to pick one of these up and hit them across the back of anyone's head because they were made out of dental plaster and weighed a ton. But wow, the board was fantastic. It just looked the piece. This is the Mines of Moria. and with little bits of scatter terrain, it made for a very interesting game. In fact, in some cases, people actually had to do paper drawings of the bases to indicate where they were, and remove some of those to make it even more playable. Farmer Maggot's farm. Obviously, him being a farmer. Devon threw this together very, very quickly. In the lead up to the event, because we stayed over at Devon's and we saw the train that he was working on and the train bits that he had already sorted out, and he managed to get that table looking good, and it was a good table, really good table. Now this table, I love the houses, I love the models. I don't know who made them, I don't know if they're manufactured or if they're purpose built, but they're really nice. Could have done with a fantastic mat underneath, really would have made that pop out fantastic, I believe. But yeah, the scenery itself just made up for the matless aspect. Now, this board was truly a work of genius. Each of these pieces not only are multi-pieces, but the board is multi-pieced as well. And it's like a jigsaw. You can move these pieces around in different formats, but each of the pieces at the beneath, there's only a couple similar. So you've got long sections, thin sections, and you just piece it all together. A really nice board. A board I actually had to get my head around the night before, so I could actually set it up quite quickly when the event was starting. Now, Radagast's dwelling in Mirkwood. Check out the spider webs. Check out the terrain, the way it flows onto the map below. Check out Radagast's hut. An amazing feat. Beautiful table. Saw some fantastic games running here. Some great use of the scenery. Possibly could have done without the Citadel Wood individuals there, but I get the picture. It was a really, really nice thing. Now, this board Devon used before in a couple of bat reps, so I was familiar with it. Didn't excite me as much as the other boards did, but a lovely Harad board nonetheless. And now we're going to Bree. This is, sorry, not Bree, Hobbiton, with all the Hobbit holes and lovely bridge over a nice small river. Bone of contention for one of the domination type games, if I remember rightly. But what a lovely board. Again, blended beautifully into that cloth that was beneath. Now, this was the Barrow Downs. Now, I'm losing it. I really like this because of the size of the barrows. They're small, they're manageable. They are pieces of scenery for sight blocking and movement blocking, but they don't take up the whole board, and I really, really like that. This board is my favourite. This board is a board I'm going to do myself, I hope. I just loved the way the scenery tied into the base. The base is foam, styrofoam, and it's been eaten into, giving small holes and stuff. Just brilliant. Love the way it was put together. That's my Osgiliath board in my mind, though it wasn't called Osgiliath there. It was a fantastic board. And table 1, Umbar board. I kind of sneakily got this set up because it fitted in perfectly with my Camel Army, which I never got a chance to play because I TO'd. But hey ho. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. See you all soon.